How's it going?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Thank you, man. So of course, this is going to be a interview that they're doing for the class. I'm here to interview you about some questions while you were here at Elkhart High School. And as I assume, it's probably been a while since you've been here.
It has been, yeah.
That's been so, yeah. So first, could you introduce yourself as who you are or where you work? What do you do?
Sure. Name's Jason Hartman. I father, husband, got three kids. Work-wise, I worked for the Kansas Forest Service for the last 18 years, and right now I'm the state forester. So
Oh, cool.
it's a little bit about me.
Nice. All right. And so first question I would like to ask you is, what was your graduation year? Where did you graduate from here?
I was part of the class of 1995.
Okay. That's a long ways. All right. And during that class, was there anything, what I would like to ask is, what made you proud to be a Wildcat here at the high school?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
We were a pretty close group through some highs and lows. We had a lot of fun together. We supported each other mostly. All high schoolers give each other a hard time too. So there's plenty of that.
Yeah.
But probably the way we pulled together through the tragedy of losing one of our classmates our senior year
Yeah.
was probably what one of the most prouds, I guess. It was
Yeah.
certainly not a highlight by any means, but the way we all supported each other to get through it was pretty.
I imagine that class was probably very, like you said, very close together, very friendly towards each other as well.
I would say mostly, yeah. Like I said, all teenagers give each other a hard time, but
Yeah.
most of all, yeah, we all got along pretty good.
That's good to hear. So, well, where are you currently employed right now?
So I'm with the Kansas Forest Service, which most people laugh when they hear that. And what's forest in Kansas? But yeah, we're a small agency, part of Kansas State University. Worked mostly in the wildfire program, was a wildland firefighter,
Yeah.
and now I'm the administrator of the state forester.
Hmm.
But we're based in Manhattan, Kansas,
Yeah.
is where
Oh,
the office is. We have offices all over the state, but the
mhm.
headquarters is Manhattan.
Sounds good. All right. And I imagine it's a pretty, very important job as of you, you know, you take care of the forests around here. You appreciate that too. Yeah. It's,
But all jobs are important. But
yeah. Oh, yeah.
thanks for saying
No,
that.
hey, you're welcome, man. But any words of advice that you would like to give to any students right now that are ready to go on out to the real world? For example, the seniors are getting started on that college looking and all of that stuff that comes out like after high school.
Yeah, keep your doors open. How would anybody have ever guessed a guy from Elkhart, Kansas would end up being a forester and a firefighter in Manhattan and all over the country? So you
Well,
never know where you can go,
yeah, it's true.
whether it's college or trade school or just going right into the workforce or military. There's lots of options. So keep the doors open. Do whatever sounds fun.
Yeah,
Enjoy whatever you do for sure.
yeah, sounds good. All right. So, is there anything that in your high school career you would say you would like to change about, whether it was like doing an activity that you didn't get to do or joining a club?
So I've seen my kids how much they've gotten out of the FFA program, and
Yeah.
I wish I maybe would have got into that in high school after seeing how much my kids have got out of it from just leadership and things they've learned through that. I didn't have any that good of idea of what it was all about when I was in school, so I wish I would have learned more when I was in school and that, and just wish I'd have stayed in touch with my classmates a little better after school.
Yeah,
So,
sounds good.
but we didn't have all this kind of stuff to help with that.
Yeah, it's tough, getting to keep in touch after it's been a while with old friends or family members. It's tough. But anyway, so what factors or what would you say was that made you choose this career? Out of all?
Uh, so I kind of to be real honest, I wasted a lot of money in college, not really knowing what I was going to do, but just taking classes because I didn't know what to do. Still gonna be paying on that for a long time. And then I finally just kind of my parents and sat me down and were like, hey, you gotta find a focus. You gotta really figure out what you're gonna do. And they were real good with that. And I knew that dad had always enjoyed his work and he was with US Forest Service, worked there at the grasslands for 30 some years, I think. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, dad always really enjoyed his work. I'll check it out. And
Yeah.
I enjoyed the forestry. I really enjoyed the firefighting when I got into that, just the camaraderie and the support and helping
So
people out when they had a need. So it was really cool.
yeah, so I imagine that was one of your kind of influences. Well, not influences, but kind of your motivation to become that part of that job was, your father was doing it, and you developed some relationships within the job as well.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to sum it up. Yeah, follow dad's footsteps. And then when I got into it, just the people I met were really amazing, awesome people.
Sounds good. And that kind of goes into my next question, which was, your education, continuing education, if you decide to go like for more learning, after school or after college, if you decide that you want to continue that learning, what would you say was that important to you, or was that important to any of your family members that you continued with any further education?
It was kind of my generation. That's the way everybody was really kind of pushed was college is it. You got to go to college. And there's a lot of good to that. I mean,
Yeah,
but I also I see that there's a trend now of just like I said, there's lots of options out there. It doesn't college isn't the only choice for success these days, and that's really nice to
yeah.
see too. That there's other choices. I think whatever it is, just having a plan after you graduate, that's what's important. Whether
Okay.
it's job or more school or whatever it is, just have a plan and try it out and see where it takes you.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that's good to hear because I do feel like that the college sometimes, especially nowadays, it can get very expensive. Especially
Yeah,
if you look at the top colleges, nowadays like Harvard or any other of that type of college, it's very expensive to get into, and it takes a lot of work and dedication. And now all of these other small kind of community colleges, they're trying to minimize that to where students don't have to like they're not in as much debt as they used to be.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's good to hear that. And another thing I would like to ask you is, let's see here. Oh yes, well, about your experience during high school. Is there anything, that you wish you would have known coming into high school?
Um, I wish athletics would have gone better. I mean, the year before me went did really well. Then my year, didn't go so well. Ended up having some surgery on my knee and just kind of not so. But you know, you think that's going to last forever, but it's really for a lot of people. That's the only time you get that team sport
Yeah,
opportunity. So I wish I'd have put in a little more effort. Not
yeah.
taking it for granted. Not taking it for granted.
Not
That's the
taking
way.
it. Yes,
I
it's like
wish I wouldn't have taken it for granted.
yes, it's like coaches always say, sometimes that reality check when you're in your senior year and you realize, oh man, this is my last baseball or basketball game, and
Yeah.
you think it'd go by a lot slower when you're in freshman year, but once you get to senior year, it's like, oh man, I've already gone through 4 years. It's like
Yep.
it's amazing, really. And about that other experience in high school, were there any struggles that you dealt with during your high school career? Was there anything that you struggled with, whether it being like choosing a college or, knowing if you were on the right path to what you wanted to do?
Um, Probably the two, biggest things for me. Um, I never really had much focus. I mean, I did okay. I wasn't like, the A honor roll kind of
Mm.
student, but I wasn't struggling really to get by classes. I got by. So I didn't really have enough as much focus as I should have. But I also I had some things going on. Like I had some dyslexia I was dealing with and stuff like that. But I did okay. So that and then just having the focus of what I wanted to do later in life after I got done. Those are the things that would have made life easier after high school if I'd have had those in place during high school.
Yeah.
Elkhart was a pretty good place. Did a lot of the community support, and teacher support, and friend support, and family. So it's not a lot to complain about, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that goes to it. It's really good about, having that focus of what you want to do in the future and, knowing you know, what you want to invest in order to get to that career or dream that you wanted to. So it's
Right.
really good. Yeah, it's very good. And let's see here. So so I guess I already asked this, but oh, man, let's see. Had to write my questions down a little bit so I wouldn't forget them. So I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, well, we've gone through all of my questions right now, but if there's one thing that I would like to ask you personally is, so during your time in high school, you've gone through all of these classes, you've done this. What would you say was your favorite thing about high school? So whether it be a moment, any of your favorite sports, maybe.
Um, just um, I think I try to have a pretty fun workplace now. But yeah, high school was just all the time with friends. You're
Yeah,
always just
just
having,
keeping
joking
it.
around, laughing. You always have that social interaction like
Mhm.
constantly. I know that's not true for every kid, but it was in Elkhart. I think everybody had a group of friends pretty
Yeah,
much. And
yeah,
that was really cool.
yeah. There you still see a lot of friend groups around here. It's really really amazing that there's a lot of that going on too. And let's see here. So, what would you say would be your favorite class overall in high school? The
Um, hmm, Probably none of the math. English, not so much either.
yeah.
Um, that's a good one. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, if you can remember, probably some of your electives, maybe.
Right, right. And yeah, most of mine were athletics oriented. The
Yeah,
electives I took like weight training and those kind of classes, and they were good.
yeah,
I mean, wish I'd have stuck with those routines a lot more. I would weigh a lot less right now, but be in better shape. So those are good. I had the one of the maybe not the class, but one of the favorite teachers was Rob Wilson. Everybody called him Norm. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was there for a while. He's been gone a while now though, but his classes were always good. Not necessarily just because of the class itself, but just kind of we would get into conversations about life. And he's pretty good at giving advice. Um, Sometimes pretty blunt
yeah,
advice too. He didn't pull any punches, but we had lots of good conversations in those classes, just about not necessarily just what the topic of the class was, but good stuff for life.
yeah. That's good. Is building trust within your teachers too is very very important thing in high school too.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
having respect. That's a big thing in high school. And let's see, what other thing can I think of right here? Um, so man, I can't really think of any questions. They only gave us a little sheet of questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I
it's
ask one?
yeah, yeah, sure.
So what is the class that this is for?
So this is for computer application. No, video production. This is for video production. So I think they asked another class for us to come and do the interviews while they had to deal with some other things on that class. So I'm representing, the class, and they asked us to interview you, graduates who have graduated before from here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then you'll do like editing and all that kind of stuff too?
yeah, they'll do the editing. In another class right now, so
Oh, okay.
yes, we're just partaking into what the interviews are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teamwork. Okay, I see.
Yeah, teamwork. Yeah, we just got kind of cut out of the blue like that. They just told us to come interview you guys, but it's a good thing, to come and meet with people who have gone through I guess, a similar experience. in us because times have changed a lot over the few years. That
Yeah.
probably yeah, and some people are getting ready to graduate in a couple of months. It's gone really really fast this year. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. What,
And
a senior?
no, I am a junior right now, 11th
Oh,
grade.
junior.
Yeah.
Nice.
And let's see, I can't really think of any other questions right now at the moment.
Okay.
But it's good. Like I'm glad that you're here with us to interview you to get to know you a little bit better, what your experience was all throughout high school. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
nice to meet you, Sebastian. So thanks
yeah,
for reaching out.
very nice. Yeah, thank you, man. So without further ado, I guess we're done.
All right. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
No problem.